Hi, my name is Lexi Garcia and I am a student at Bowdoin Park High School. During my time here, some of my favorite memories were in the classroom. I made friends here and it was such a great experience to have classes with them for 3 years. While I was here, I overcame many challenges with my classes, teachers, and friends. When I first got here, I was really dependent on my friends, but then I noticed that I needed to start to figure out who I am first. So all my junior year, I basically spent it alone. It really tested my confidence and my relationship with God. I loved my art classes and my forensics class. It was really the only two subjects that I truly paid attention to. I enjoyed learning most of the things my teachers would teach me, not only because it was interesting, but because my teachers made it fun to learn about the subject. It was a type of class I would look forward to every day, no matter how tired or worn out I felt. The fact that my teachers made it enjoyable for me to learn made the subject stick to me. The topic I chose to write about for my senior project research paper was if e-cigarettes are a safe way for smokers to stop or gateway to getting youth hooked on a habit that is known to cause deadly diseases of the heart and lungs. Clearly, there is enough evidence to prove e-cigarettes should not be used by teens. My first key point is that vaping among kids is growing and getting new generations addicted to nicotine and introducing them to smoking. My second key point is that e-cigarettes should be banned because companies are marketing to teens not caring for the effects it is having on our youth. The FDA has called it an epidemic. Initially, vaping was used as a safer alternative for smoking. Health experts are now saying that there are no safe tobacco products for young people. According to Tobacco Free CA, it explains according to the CDC, more than 18 million high school and middle school students combined were exposed to e-cigarette ads in 2014. Teens are basically growing into vaping as they go into middle school. Although companies believe e-cigarettes help maintain people from addictions, e-cigarettes are one main cause of teenagers being hooked onto tobacco. E-cigarettes target teenagers in order to make more profit, but don't realizing the far-reaching effect it is causing on future young adults. The report showed that 63% of people's ages 14 to 25 aren't even aware that vaporizers like Juul contain nicotine at all, which means that minors are under the illusion that vaping is flavorful, discreet, and unharmful. A lot of vaping companies have not emphasized the chemicals inhaled by vapors. According to Jacob Sullum in the article, nicotine-free e-liquids are tobacco products. He quotes, "Some e-liquids claiming to be nicotine-free actually contain high levels of nicotine. Others are tobacco-flavored and thus made or derived from tobacco, regardless of their nicotine content. Teens could be inhaling up to 100 different chemicals and still not know the long-term effects it has on the health. Even some e-cigarette companies who claim to be nicotine-free are not true." The American Lung Association said e-cigarettes contain nicotine, ultrafine particles that can be inhaled deep into the lungs. Flavorings such as diacetyl, a chemical connected to serious lung disease, the aerosols in the vapor can contain harmful chemicals. E-cigarettes do maintain a high expectancy of keeping people away from traditional cigarettes. Although there are many cigarette quitters, the rate is still very low. The Tobacco Free CA states that people who wanted to quit smoking were about 60% more likely to succeed if they used e-cigarettes compared to the would-be quitters who tried anti-smoking nicotine patch or gum. This clearly shows that adults are using it for the benefit of quitting. However, there are more teens who use vaping as a social trend than for quitting. The legal age to buy e-cigarettes in stores is 18 years of age, but yet there is 38% of high schoolers and 13% of middle schoolers who have tried e-cigarettes once. Despite people believing that e-cigarettes are helping those who are suffering from nicotine addiction, they don't realize that the e-cigarettes still have a bigger impact on minors than on quitters. On the contrary, e-cigarettes' popularity has grown extensively among teens in these past few years. FDA has claimed that they have already uncovered 40 violations in selling Juul to minors and sending them letters issuing those violations. The nicotine in these products can rewire an adolescent's mind and lead them to years of addiction. The CDC says that e-cigarettes aren't safe, especially for children and teens, and is currently investigating cases of lung disease associated with vaping, to warn parents about the stuff and watch out for the teens and children. For e-cigarettes to be banned, vaping companies must change the way they advertise. The reason many teens do Juul is because the advertisement attracts kids to the product. The flavoring packets in the vaping products is also a huge impact on why adolescents use them. The truth is, if vaping pens tasted as disgusting as cigarettes, no one would want to do it for fun. Flavoring has always been used for a long time to attract those who are younger. The products that don't comply with the truth should be removed off the market, such as vapes who claim to be nicotine-free, but really are not. As a community, we should all contribute to protest against vape pens and what they do to children. As parents, we should be more aware of our kids' surrounding and what they watch on the media. Teens are already attracted to affordable technology and flavorings in the vape pen. The new technologies for using drugs has led to an increase of nicotine addiction. The reason vape initiated was because it could help smokers quit. The flavors were supposed to be an extra hand. The vape pen was also supposed to not attract youth and lure them into smoking, but it is. Nicotine is not a joke, and addiction can destroy an adolescent's future. One important involvement I've had that shows passion and teamwork is being in the teacher's ministry at my church. I dedicate myself to teaching children about Jesus and the Bible because God loves every one of them, and it's my job to teach them about it. Teamwork is constant during the year and mostly when Vacation Bible School comes around. We all organize it together. I love doing this because I don't do it for selfish gain. I do it because I love God, and nothing makes me happier than to see seeds being planted into children's hearts. After high school, I hope to go to community or technical school and get my associates in nursing and psychology, then transfer to a 4-year college and continue my education there. I plan on finding a job in the area of nursing and caring for people, such as a children's psychologist. I hope to be good at what I'm working at because it's something my heart desires to do, and I'll do it with passion. I was a kid once in need of someone, and I truly didn't know that I needed help. But as I grew up, I realized that I didn't have much emotional support from anyone. So I want to help kids who just don't have access to it. John chapter 4, 9-10. The Samaritan woman said to him, "You are a Jew and I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water."